Continuing on the custom card review streak, we're going to be talking about a 4 Gogeta, and it's coming in from Skylar Hammer. But before I go and read Skylar's custom card concept, send me Dokkan concepts over to bhdevcustomcards at gmail.com so I get to your Dokkan concept as soon as possible while I get all these recent and older Dokkan concepts out the way. Quick thing I want to say before I go ahead and read the message inside the email and start the video. I am strongly considering doing double uploads so I can catch up on the newer custom card concepts that you guys sent to me. So there's that. All right, so Skylar says, Devin, this is the Dokkan Fest to go with my 4 Gogeta card that I made. I love the video that you made for Gogeta. Your words made me feel happy. Thank you. When I read stuff like this just makes my day. I am so happy that it made you feel happy, my brother. So, thank you for sending in your custom card concept, and without further ado, let's go and jump straight into it. So we have a Dokkan 11th anniversary Dokkan Fest. Interesting. That's what the title of the Google Doc says, but yeah. Also low quality art, but I mean, if it was more high quality, it obviously look better, but you know, there's that, right? It does look good though. I wish it was a little bit more high quality so I can like, so I could, make out like the I don't even know. I wish it was just a little bit more high quality. Anyways, Universe 7 trump card to victory, physical LR Goku and Vegeta, and the leader skill is Pure Saiyan's Universe 7 or Final Trump Card 3 key 200% HP and 170% to attack and defense, as well as the 50% stats being 2 Patara Fusion and Power Beyond Super Saiyan. And the stats, I mean, guys, when we see 32,000 attack, we know exactly what we're getting ourselves into with a card like this. And this is the leader skill. I did pull it up, and I'm gonna go ahead and snitch myself again like I did last video. I believe this card was sent, I think it was last year. I think it was October or November. So this card is definitely greatly helped by all the options that have released. You know what would be funny? If I waited till the 11th anniversary to read this card, and how many more ridiculous options this card would have to put on their team. But as it stands, we just go ahead and just look at the front page, and we're already looking pretty damn good. So let's go ahead and jump straight into the card. All right, so there are 12 key, that being Meteor, Salt, Crash, Stack, Attack, and Defense. That is all, regularly. And an 18 key, that being Kaioken times 20, Super Kamehameha, and Gamma Burst Flash. They greatly stack attack and defense, and they have a... No, they raise allies' dodge chance by 55%. Wow. Also, guys, if you guys hear a bunch of like noises, it's from outside, and there isn't much sound suppression where I'm recording at, so I am completely sorry. Anyways, let's continue on. That's really good dodge support for all allies on the rotation, by the way. While also them being stackers. When you see a card that has ridiculously high stats and they are a stacker, I mean, we know what we're looking at already. With a very good leader skill, by the way. Their passive, that being Ultimate Fathers Unite, I really like that passive name, activates the interest animation once only. Character's entry turn, when there is another Universe 7 category on the team, they get 50% damage reduction, as well as launching a guarantee super for 7 turns from the start of turn, I believe, or from start of entry turn, because it just says from. So I'm just going to assume that's what he meant to put into this document. So 50% damage reduction and guarantee super for 7 turns from the start of turn, or from the character's entry turn, pretty much the same damn thing, but yeah. And the base effects. 3 key and 170% attack and defense baseline, as well as 2 key per rainbow keys are obtained. They guard, so 50% damage reduction with guard, plus a guarantee super built in, while them being a stacker with dodge support is pretty damn good. 1 attacking, 130% attack and defense, as well as a 70% chance to dodge with a 70% chance of launching an additional super attack. Okay, so guard, 50% damage reduction, a 70% chance to dodge. So we pretty much have the Thanos gauntlet of defensive abilities to fall back on for this character in their base. And with each attack performed, 25% attack and defense up to 100%. So that's just 4 attacks. And that's uber easy for this character to build this up. Right, because they could do up to 4+ supers. They do their base super for their 18 key plus, and then they do their guarantee super within their interest animation buff, as well as their additional super attack chance. Granted, you get lucky, and of course they have the hidden potentials. That's up to 4+ super, so you can get this immediately within the first turn. So yeah, 50% damage reduction, 70% chance to dodge, as well as guard. This card is fairly easy to break down their base. Just a very strong base. Yeah. And I feel as if though the low stats don't even matter. Just them having 170% attack and defense baseline, as well as 130% attack and defense when attacking, and up to 100% attack over here is it's like it almost really doesn't matter that they have low stats, because they have this right over here: 32,000 attack and 21,000 defense. Yeah. And then links like that being Super Saiyan, Kamehameha, Prepare for Battle, Fierce Battle, Legendary Power, of course, Godly Power, and the Saiyan Lineage. So Prepare for Battle, the Saiyan Lineage are going to be the 2 key links that they're primarily going to have. They do only start out with 3 key. I don't think they're ever going to struggle for key. I don't think so, because Prepare for Battle, the Saiyan Lineage, no. I don't think they would. 2 key per Rainbow Key Sphere obtained, you're more than likely going to have at least 2 or maybe 3 Rainbow Key Spheres on the rotation. I mean, you could get some Rainbow Orb Changers on their leader skill, right? Anyways, so we get to the standby skill. Vegeta is the only way, where he's convincing Vegeta to go ahead and do the fusion dance. Can be activated after receiving 10 attacks in battle, or when HP is 70% or less, starting from the 5th turn from the start of battle. Okay, 10 attacks is... That is a bit much. Can they take those attacks? Absolutely. Because they have the trio, the damn trio of danger when it comes to the defensive abilities for them to fall back on. But 10 attacks is a lot, I'm not gonna lie. And the when HP is 70% or less, starting from the 5th turn from start of battle, this could be a bit annoying to proc, because they do have a very strong team. A very, very strong team. And the chances of one of these characters for the team that you build for them to get caught is it low? It's probably low. It's probably a low chance for them to get caught. Yeah, this is yeah, you're probably gonna have to go with the 10 attacks, but it's not gonna be a problem for them to get those 10 attacks. Granted, of course, the boss is attacking a lot inside the first slot for them, right? Anyways, and of course, wait, but the dodge can actually hurt them. No? For that? Okay, whatever. Let's just continue on. Alright, so the standby effect. Standby for 5 turns, during which charge count increases by 2 per type key sphere. And we get to the standby, LR Goku and Vegeta. The passive, that being which trump card to go with. I think he just misspelled which. It's okay, it doesn't really matter. So the base effect. So unable to attack, 500% defense, as well as for every key sphere obtained, 10% damage reduction up to 50% per rainbow key sphere obtained. Okay. And guard for 1 turn with 3 or more physical key spheres obtained, as well as for 4 turns from the character's entry turn, all allies get 3 key and 100% defense, as well as them being a rainbow orb changer. Okay, so they do want to get as many rainbow key spheres as possible. Yeah, that support is very strong, by the way. 3 key and 100% defense is crazy good support. Even for today's stand, this is ridiculous, bro. This is some Pepe Gals-esque support. Change STR key spheres to physical key spheres too. Okay, so could this conflict with one another? Because you do want to get both. You really do want both. On a good turn, you can get those 3 key spheres and up to 2 rainbow key spheres. So that would be guard with 20% damage reduction, 500% defense, as well as them getting their own ally support of 3 key and 100% defense. Is it crazy to say that this card could die? No, they can't. They can't. I am crazy, because they're going to have all that stacked of attack and defense. Could they die in their standby? I don't think so. If they don't stack up enough, then absolutely. Let me just also just say that this card is gonna be this card gonna be like a dominant force for the festival battles, by the way, or just all content in general. I mean, this is just all right. Let's continue on. Standby looking good, but this might conflict with one another considering that it's only STR to physical. The Rainbow Orb changing is completely fine, but just STR to physical, you really do want that at those three key spheres. That's only guard for one turn too. But outside of that, looks solid. I would say looks solid. But this could conflict with one another because if you don't get that these three physical key spheres, you want those 5 rainbow orbs or 4 rainbow orbs. But yeah. Anyways, so does the link set change? It does. So you keep the same lineage, you keep prepare for battle, you keep legendary power, obviously. You get tough as nails, shocking speed, experienced fighters, and same warrior race. Replaced for what? It's gonna replace godly power, Kamehameha, Super Saiyan, as well as what? Fierce battle. Fierce battle gets replaced for some reason. Huh. Okay. Anyways, so standby finish effect if you swipe up. Special fusion into Vegito Blue can be activated when charge counter is 30 or more. And standby finish effect if you swipe down, you fuse into Blue Gogeta when charge counter is 30 or more. Okay, so you swipe down, it's Gogeta Blue, and you swipe up, it's Vegito Blue. Let's see what Vegito Blue is looking like. I'm going to assume Vegito Blue is stronger. Actually, he usually is. All right. So the 12 key, that being Godly Spirit Excalibur, he gets 50% attack and defense for one turn, as well as raising allies' attack and defense by 70% for 2 turns. Stupid strong support. And the 18 key super, that being the Kaioken times 20, Final Gamma Burst Kamehameha, 100% attack and defense for one turn, as well as disabling enemies' action once within a turn, and ultimately lowering attack and defense. Wow. Okay. So very good super attack combinations. Very, very good. And the passive, let me just go ahead and highlight the entire thing. Okay, this is a huge passive. Okay, never mind. We're just gonna start with this part of the passive, this body right over here. All right, so the passive, that being the word to make a evil god look ugly. This is a Masu, that's a shot at you. 7 key and 300% attack and defense baseline, as well as a 50% chance to crit, unrestricted guard, unrestricted 30% damage reduction, and nullifies attacks that are guaranteed to hit, making it possible to dodge these attacks. Allies excluded. So that's only for him, okay? With each super attack performed, he gets 25% attack and defense up to 200%. So that is 8 attacks. Also, oh my god, bro. I don't know if my mic is picking any of this up, but there are like cars flying by, and then a jet just flies by my place. Bro, it's like they don't want me to record in the morning. Oh my god. Anyways, back onto the task at hand. When receiving a normal attack, counters with tremendous power upon receiving normal attacks and gets additional 30% attack on counter attacks. I'm assuming that's within the same turn. And before attacking, he gets 30% damage reduction, as well as when attacking gets 250% attack and defense. That's very good. And when attacking with 12 more key, he gets a 30% chance to dodge, as well as a 70% chance of launching an additional super attack. And when attacking with 24 key, he launches a guaranteed super just outright. And for 5 turns from character's entry turn, he gives allies 3 key and he foresees super attacks. Okay, so there is some things to unpack here. All right, so he again has the infinity. Oh my god. The infinity. He has the infinity gauntlet of defensive abilities to fall back. 1 second, guys. Let me take a sip of water. He has the infinity gauntlet of defensive abilities to fall back on. Feeling a little dyslexic this morning. So he gets up to 60% damage reduction before attacking with his guard, as well as a 30% chance to dodge grants he's above 12 more key, which of course he's going to be. And on the offensive end, he's going to have a 50. I love that he has a 50% chance to crit because that directly supports his counters. I love that because I've always thought that every counter unit should have a base crit chance. Every single counter unit should have it. So that way you don't have to go ahead and butcher your hidden potential system by building it full fucking crit. I love that he put crit chance inside of this guy's passive. I just love it. And of course, this nullifying attacks are guaranteed. This is obviously pretty damn good because he's going to be able to have that 30% chance to dodge fall back on. Now, granted, a 30% chance to dodge is not good, but it is something that he could have to fall back on, right? If a big time super is flying at him, I mean, he's going to have that 60% damage reduction with guard, but still, he dodges. It's really nice. Anyways, on the offensive end, a 50% chance to crit, as well as what else? He does have big time stats, 300% attack defense right over here. He does have up to 200% attack defense right over here. He also has 250% attack defense when attacking, as well as him, of course, having an additional super attack chance right over here. He gets up to 3+ supers inside his pass, so he can do up to 5+ supers. He does his base super. He does what else? No, he doesn't. He does. I'm completely mistaken it because no, he does 4+ supers. Yeah, that's 2 supers inside his kit because he only has this additional super attack chance as well as this guarantee super built in. All right. So yeah, offensive end, big time stats, has built-in crit chance as well as counters with the crit chance directly supporting it. He's pretty good, bro. Is everyone doing everything this morning, bro? Oh my god. I feel like Dashy when he was like saying fuck that leaf blower. There's a dude outside he's using his leaf blower outside of my house, bro. Get the fuck out of here. God damn. Yo. It's like an active sabotage. Foreseeing supers, 2+ supers. He has built into his kit, one being a chance, one being a guarantee super. He does have support from both his 12 key, that being 70% attack defense for 2 turns, as well as his 3 keys, giving for those first 5 turns. 30% chance to dodge, up to 60% damage reduction with guard before he attacks. Big time stats, counter unit with crit chance. He's looking pretty good. Anyways, active skill, that being Godly Impact Burst. Causes ultimate damage to enemy and creates a domain, future, city, and runes. Superclass allies get 4 key for 5 turns. And the domain effect, superclass allies and enemies get 10% attack and defense, as well as Pure Saiyans, Universe 7, or Final Trump card characters getting 10% damage reduction. That is pretty damn good because that bumps this guy up to 70+% damage reduction. That is pretty damn good, as well as him have that key and the 10% attack and defense, which cool, but the 10% damage reduction is the big winner here. And the active skill condition starting from the next turn after special condition. Okay, so special fusion, I mean, not condition. All right, so Vegeta's looking pretty good. Damn. All right, we got to see what Gogeta's looking like. I'm pretty sure that's Ultra Gogeta from Legends, right? All right, so the link set, that being Super Saiyan, Kamehameha, Over in a Flash, Power Bestowed by God, Fierce Battle, Fuse Fight, and Legendary Power. That is Vegeto's link set, by the way. No Prepare for Battle. I guess it makes sense because they only gave Prepare for Battle to some of those old Vegito Blue units, right? Anyway, so LR Blue Gogeta. So Blue Gogeta, I'm going to assume is doing a similar thing. He's probably doing a similar thing, but he has a couple things changed. So it's going to be mostly similar. So it's 12 key, that being Godly Meteor Crash, 50% attack and defense on 1 turn, as well as raising allies crit and dodge chance by 70% for 2 turns. He might be, and it's self-excluded by the way, he might already be better than Vegito Blue. Wow. That is pretty fucking... You guys, I think you guys know how strong that is. Giving the entire rotation a 70% chance to crit and dodge for 2 turns is out of this world fucking strong. That is so strong. So strong. Imagine giving this guy that support. He needs that support. That would be huge for him. Imagine giving this guy support. Not that he needs it, but imagine that. This support could single-handedly revive a unit. Is that crazy to say? That's so... Imagine him giving this support to this unit. Oh my god. That's pretty damn crazy. Okay. An 18 key, that being Kaioken times 20 ultimate Kamehameha, 100% attack and defense on one turn, as well as disabling enemy action, ultimately lowering the enemy's attack and defense. So it's the only difference between Vegito Blue and Gogeta Blue for their super attack effects is this. And this shits on this easily. This shits on this so easily. You're taking a 70% chance to crit and dodge over 70% attack and defense for 2 turns. And this is 2 turns also, which is crazy. And the passive, that being the warrior to make a legendary a legendary Saiyan look weak. I was about to say Super Saiyan. The warrior to make a legendary Saiyan look weak. The base effects, 300% attack and defense, as well as 7 key baseline. Unrestricted guard, unrestricted 30% damage reduction, and a unrestricted 77% chance to dodge. Nullifies attacks that are guaranteed to hit, making it possible for this character to dodge those attacks. Allies excluded, because this fucker is already giving that dodge to the entire rotation for 2 turns. And he's also effective against all types. So, Gogeta Blue is just better. And he's better because he actually is going to get more usability out of his nullified attacks that are guaranteed to hit, because he has a 77% chance to dodge, and this guy only has a 30% chance to dodge. Now, granted, I assume that he left it as a 30% chance to dodge because this guy is a counter unit, but yeah, he's just going to get that Vegito tax where he's a counter unit, and I guess he's going to be nerfed, quote unquote, in that regard. I'm just making up something to speculate. Anyways, with each super attack performed, excuse me, is his with each attack or each super attack? Let me go back on over to him. It is with each super attack performed, and he can only do up to 2+ supers inside his kit. Okay, so with each super attack performed, he gets 25% attack and defense up to 100%, and with each super attack dodge, he gets 25% attack and defense up to 100%. And when attacking, he gets 170% attack and defense. And for 10 turns from the character's entry turn, 3 key and first use enemy super attacks, and when attacking with 12 more key, a 50% chance of launching an additional super attack. And when attacking with 24 key, he launches a guaranteed super and performs a guaranteed crit. As well as this character, when he receives a Ki Blast super or an unarmed super, he has a 70% chance to nullify it and counter it with tremendous power. So he's better than Vegito because this guy, this being able to be comboed together more effectively than Gogeta with his counters. It's like Vegito is no slouch, but this is just better. It is, yeah. Because this is going to make dodge canceling fights a fucking joke. And I hope you guys don't forget that this card literally has ridiculous stats, and inside their base they are stacking. So yeah, I would say Gogeta's is better because he's just gonna have an easier time inside these strong fights than Vegito. I would say so. Yeah, guard with 30% damage reduction, a 77% chance to dodge, as well as having him nullifying the attacks that are guaranteed to hit. Yeah, man. And he also has some of the cherries that Vegito has. He has the first super attacks. He has those 2+ supers. He has a guaranteed crit built into him. He's gonna be better. I feel like Gogeta's gonna be more effective. And not only that, this probably makes him single-handedly better than Vegito, in my opinion. This right over here. This is so unbelievably strong. Vegito's really good, but I think Gogeta's is better. Okay, so the active skill, that being Godly Blue Flash Impact. Now, what I will say, Vegito easily has a higher damage ceiling than Gogeta. Easily. His counters are going to shred bosses. But in terms of like versatility, I'm giving it to Gogeta. I'm just going to give it to him. Alright, the active skill, that being, what's that? It's the Godly Blue Flash Impact. Causes ultimate damage to enemy and creates a domain extra dimensional space. Sounds like a Pokemon, move. Or like a effect. Alright, anyways. Or like a Pokemon booster pack. Shout out TCG. Alright, so super class allies get 4 key for 5 turns, and the domain effect is pretty much similar, but the only difference is that he's giving dodge chance rather than damage reduction. Yeah. which I don't know if you guys realize, but Gogeta is getting this 15% chance to dodge. So Gogeta is going to get, what's that? 15 into 77. So that would be, what, 82 for the 5? So that would be a 92% chance to dodge when his domain is up. We had 92% chance to dodge when his domain's up. And a 90... No, that's not 90. Excuse me. What am I talking about? It's a 92% chance to dodge for Gogeta when the domain's up. And that's a 85% chance to dodge after this guy's supers for the entire rotation. Gogeta's better. Gogeta. Oh my god. Gogeta's just more versatile, bro. I'm just gonna keep it a bean. Now, if Vegito's active skill was an aggro, if it was an aggro, right? Then I don't know. But Gogeta would still be better, but that will make him neck and neck. But this guy is only really looking better in terms of damage because those counters are going to be rocking the boss, bro. Anyways, the active skill condition can be performed after this next turn, so it's pretty much the same thing. Link set, Super Saiyan, Kamehameha, Fierce Battle, Fuse Fighter, Legendary Power, Over in a Flash, and Warrior God, so pretty much similar. And Ultimate, okay, so this is like a index, right, showing what some of the things mean in the card. All right, so ultimately lowers is about 150%. Okay. States on the enemy. All right. And Universe 7 category explains, so every character that showed up in Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, Super, and GT, Dragon Ball Heroes, and Daima are in this category. Holy hell, that'd be a huge category, bro. That's on some pure Saiyan's level of just expansion. For the Heroes characters, it's only characters that have Xeno in the name or transformations of characters like Super Saiyan 4 Bardock or Gohan. Okay, so W card, right? I would say a very W card. Vegito is damage. He has the trio of danger in terms of defensive abilities. Guard, up to 60% damage reduction with a 30% chance to dodge. The main appeal of this card is going to be the counters, as all Vegito cards should be, right? And Gogeta, ridiculously strong dodge support character, also having every defensive ability. I think Gogeta is going to be more effective. So that's going to be about it for me. I think the weakest part of this card is the standby. I would say that's the weakest part. Because this seems a little inconsistent. But Vegito and Gogeta, super strong. Base, super strong. That's going to be about it. I appreciate you guys watching. You guys are the best. Skylar, you made a pretty good custom card concept. So yeah, leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. I don't know if I'm going to be doing double uploads. I don't know. Honestly, that's a huge if. I'm strongly thinking about doing it because we are very behind. Super behind on these custom cards. And I see you guys are still sending cards. So yeah, I appreciate you guys watching. You guys are the best. That's going to be all from me. Peace.